Okay, so ankles are crossed, hands on the knees. We're going to take a deep breath in, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, round it out. Spread those shoulder blades apart, tucking the tailbone, hanging off those knees. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, open up the chest. Squeezing into that upper spine. And exhale, round it out. Curl the spine, focusing on tucking that tailbone. Inhale, lift, roll the shoulders back. You can lift the chin up towards the ceiling to increase that arch to the spine. Exhale, round it out. Tucking the tailbone. Inhale, lift, roll the shoulders back. And exhale, round it out. Coming up to a neutral spine, we're going to stretch the arms out and out of the shoulders, dropping those shoulders away from the ears. Reach over with the right hand, place it on the ground, and left arm reaches over. Turning the palm towards the floor, extending through that elbow, reaching out of that rib cage. You want to fold into that right side of the body. You can drop onto the right elbow if comfortable, otherwise staying elevated, using the hands to press the sit bone to the floor. Being sure not to close off the face, but open the chest. Get a bonus stretch through that top pectoral muscle. And then drawing yourself up, hand in line with the hip on the other side, and reach the arm over. Dropping onto the elbow if comfortable. Extending through the elbow, the top elbow, and keeping both sit bones connected to the ground. And reaching yourself back up to seated. Dropping the shoulders without dropping the hands, which is something that tends to happen. Releasing the shoulders away from the ears, twisting over to the right hand side. Take the left hand to the outside of the right knee, right hand to the ground at the base of the spine. Propping yourself up nice and tall, we twist around the torso. So you're using that front hand to pull the chest to face that right hand side. And slowly release, floating the arms up and over to the other side. Grab the outside of the knee, other hand to the ground behind you, and twist. It's not so much about the arms in this case, it's about twisting and wringing out the torso. And gently release. We're going to extend the right leg out to the corner of the mat, back of the knees pressing into the ground, flexing the toes towards you. Placing the right forearm along the leg, and you can slide it away. If comfortable, drop it to the ground on the inside of the leg, and then reach the left arm over towards those toes. Feel that extension through the side of the body as you reach both hands towards that foot. Try not to close off the face, but keep the chest stacked open. You can use that bottom elbow as leverage to open you up even further and feel how the stretch changes from the back to more the front, rib cage, oblique sort of area. Again, keeping the sit bone connected to the floor. Shoulders are soft away from the ears. Swinging yourself up, twisting the torso so both arms are extended towards that right leg. We're going to fold forward, sending your tummy to thigh, chest to shins, sliding the hands towards the foot. If the hands only land either side of that extended leg, that's also fine. Again, shoulders are down. Notice how often those shoulders tend to shrug up. Those are the habits we're trying to correct today. And gently release. Taking that bent leg, you're going to cross it over the extended leg, placing the sole of the foot to the outside of the leg. Left hand places behind you. Right elbow hooks to the outside of the knee. Bend the hand, or bend the elbow so the hand is upright. I had a lot of waving last time, so feel free to wave if it makes you feel better. Otherwise, for me, it's a stop sign. Don't know why. Bring the hand nice and close towards the bum, so you're sitting up tall. Both sit bones are connected to the ground. So you get a good glute stretch. And then think about bringing your belly back into the outside of the thigh. And release, extending that left leg out to the corner of the mat. Right foot comes in, sole of the foot places to the inner thigh. Back of the knee is pressing straight into the ground, placing left hand or left forearm along the leg, Or on the inside of the leg, sliding the hand away, we're going to rainbow arch the arm over towards those toes. Shoulders are down, flexing the toes towards the face to really increase that stretch in the hamstring. Maybe the calves are particularly tight. And swinging it up, extending both arms towards that leg. Try and square off the shoulders, so not reaching only with one hand. Body is facing that leg, hands to the ground as you fold forwards. If you would like to hold on to the foot to pull yourself forwards, that's also fine. Gently releasing, coming back up to seated, taking the bent leg, cross the foot over to the outside of the extended leg, right hand to the ground behind you to prop yourself up as you hook the left elbow to the outside of the knee. Stop sign of the hand. If it is more comfortable to extend the arm, that's also fine. Maybe you get more leverage that way, or maybe you can't get that upper arm onto the knee, and for now you're working just on the forearm. So as you press yourself closer towards the leg and get more twisting leverage, you'll get more of the upper arm on that knee, which will help you get better leverage to twist. Also thinking as you press the hand into the ground, you're growing up taller, creating space between the vertebrae, allowing you to twist even further. And release, gently bringing both feet to the center of the mat. Soles of the feet are together, bringing the heels in nice and close towards the body. Now interlace the fingers around those feet, sitting up nice and tall, bending the elbows to the inner thighs and extend the chest forwards. We're doing this with a nice straight spine as much as possible. So working on undoing that rounded back, sending the chest forwards. Try not to extend from the chin, but keep your neck in line with the rest of the spine. Shoulders are rolled back. The more you squeeze those shoulders backwards, the further forwards your chest will go. You can use the elbows to push the knees down to the ground, so you're getting that inner thigh stretch. And release, sending the feet slightly further forwards to a bit of a bigger diamond. This time we're going to round the back and hopefully feel a nice release into that SRJ, lower back area. Elbows come to the front of the shins, rounding the back, sending the crown of the head into the soles of the feet. Or just big toes to forehead, or just generally in that direction. It doesn't matter if things don't touch. It is cold at the moment, so. And gently release up to seated. We're going to swing the feet around so we come over into our box position. So onto our hands and knees. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders. Knees are directly underneath the hips. I'm going to loosen up that spine a little bit more, starting by tucking the tailbone, rounding the back heel, cat and camel. So hands pressed into the earth, chin tucks in to look toward the belly button, and spreading those shoulder blades apart. Making sure your shoulders are not rounding up towards the ears, they're down and protracted. Dropping the belly button down, we lift the tailbone to the sky, spreading the sitting bone, and then start to open the chest to face out ahead of you. Roll the shoulders back. So we're going segmentally through this. We're not just collapsing and then hoping that that's where you end. We're seeing, can my pelvis tilt more forward? Can my belly button reach more down? Can my chest open up that little bit more? Chin is not just hanging and squashed forward, but you're lifting the head, lengthening through the neck, rolling those shoulders back, and squeezing the shoulder blades together. So you're really getting into that upper back. And it's not just compression through the lower spine. Let's tuck the tailbone, round it up, squeezing into that lower abdominal area to really tuck tailbone. Spine presses up towards the ceiling, spreading those shoulder blades apart. The harder you push your hands into the ground, the further apart those shoulders will spread. Chin tucks in so the neck has an opportunity to relax whilst you're looking at that belly button. Great big rainbow with the spine. Dropping the belly down, lifting the tailbone, spreading the sit bones. Open the chest, roll the shoulders back, extending that chest to face out ahead of you, and lifting the chin up. Neutral, not compressing. Feel the length through the crown of the head. Tuck tailbone, round it up, squeeze, 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 folding into the lower abdominals. So you're lifting those hip bones right in towards your belly. And the harder you squeeze, it's a proper ab exercise here. So it's like a little crunch, but with the lower abs in focus. And then exhale, round it out, arching through the entire spine, from tip to tail, top to tail, tip of the tailbone to top of the head, and then coming to a nice neutral spine. We're going to do some thread the needle, so legs are extended, now we rotate. So placing the hand into the left hand strong into the floor, right arm reaches to the sky. You want to make sure it's not just the arms again, but you're twisting the entire torso to stack those shoulders as the arm reaches up. You're going to reach that right arm through underneath the left arm. Supporting arm is straight as you twist the body. And then inhale, lift the arm up towards the ceiling. Opening the chest. And exhale, reach it through. Inhale, lift it up, stacking the shoulders, opening the chest. Think about lengthening right across the chest as you open up. Stretch it through. Number 3, we're doing 2 more. Left arm should be working quite hard as you use it to help you open up through both shoulders. And then reaching through. And last one, stacking the shoulders, opening the chest, rotating the spine. And stretch all the way through. This time we're coming all the way down onto that right shoulder, right ear. So that right arm is extended. We're going to take the left arm up and around into the small of the lower back. If that's too intense for the arms at the moment, or you need that hand for support, you can place it just in front of the face to help you twist so that you can get your chest towards the sky. If you want to take that hand right across into the right inner thigh, that's also an option. The more you open up the shoulder, the easier that should be. And release, placing the left hand in front of the face, bringing yourself back up to your box, ready for the other side. So left arm reaches up towards the ceiling, right arm is strong to open up the chest. So it comes from both arms and twisting the spine. And then reach through underneath that armpit, rotating out the body. Inhale, lift, stack, open, lengthen across the front of the chest. And exhale, reach it through. Inhale, lift. Think about pressing that right arm into the ground to create extra length, like that top hand reaching up towards the sky. You're not just collapsed. And stretch it through. Number 4, lift and stack, twisting the spine open and reach it through. And last one, reach it up, open chest, twist the spine, and exhale, reach it all the way through, coming to lie on your left shoulder, left ear. You can keep the right hand in front of the face if that's where you are today, otherwise place it in the small of the lower back, or tuck it right around to the left inner thigh. The more you use your bottom arm to push you open, the easier it should be to get that hand to that inner thigh. And then gently release, placing the hand underneath in front of the face and coming back into your box position. We're going to extend the right leg, keeping the hips closed. So we don't want to rotate the pelvis open. Hips point towards the floor. So right leg is extended parallel to the ground. Left arm lifts up alongside the ear. For a nice straight body. Thumb is turned up towards the sky, palm turned towards the center of the mat. And let's flex that right foot just to make sure that the hips are closed. So if you find that your toes are pointing out to the side, try and twist everything to close it all. Shoulders are away from the ears, tucking the tailbone, really flexing into those lower abdominals and squeezing that leg up through that glute fold, just underneath your bum. And we're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing the hand to the ground, but keeping the leg up. You can point the toes. We're going to do 5 single leg push-ups. So keeping that leg hovering, you're going to lower the chest to the ground. If you need to put the knee back down on the floor, that's also fine. And up. Number 2, and up. Keeping that core strong. 3, and up. 4, and up. And 5, and up. Lowering the body all the way down, sliding out, both legs connected to the floor. Hands underneath the shoulders, toes together, heels apart. I'm going to inhale, lift the chest away from the ground, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and tuck those shoulders away from the ears. Hands float away from the floor, squeezing into that mid-back. Chin is tucked in, neck is nice and neutral. Gently release, allow the head and shoulders to come back to the ground. Double check that those glutes are relaxed. We're going to do another lift with added extensions. So inhale, lift the chest away from the floor, squeezing into that mid-back. Chin is tucked in. We're going to stretch those arms forward, keeping them as high off the ground as you can. And then tuck the elbows in. 4, and in. 3, really swim and squeeze. 2, in, and 1, and in. Hands down to the ground, tuck those toes, push the hips back as you stretch out those arms. Melting tummy to thigh, armpits towards the floor, stretching out the soles of the feet. And then coming back up into your box position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Core is engaged, so your lower back's not collapsing. So we're in a nice neutral spine. Arms are pressing strong into the earth. We're going to extend the left leg. Flexing the foot, right arm lifts up alongside the ear. Core is engaged, lifting through that glute fold, lifting through that mid-back to get the arm nice and high. It's not just the shoulder, it's also into the back. Both shoulders are away from the ears. It'll be extension over that extended leg, hip as well. Or just think about it. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing that hand down to the ground. Hands are underneath the shoulders, hips are closed. We can point the toes, and we're going to do 5 push-ups with this other leg up. Remember, you can place the knee down on the ground and just do ladies push-ups. Otherwise, keep it hovered. We go for 1, and up, 2, and up, 3, 4, and 5, and press. Lowering the body all the way down onto your tummy, legs extend. Hands next to the shoulders. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Really pull the elbows towards the hips. We inhale, lift the chest away from the ground. Then straight into our 5 extensions. We reach forwards for 1, and in. 2, in. 3, 4, and 5, and in. Hands down, tuck the toes. Push the hips back, stretch out those arms. Allowing the tummy to fall to the thighs. Arms press into the earth. Coming gently back up into your box position. Just to keep the hips above the knees. And then we're going to walk the arms forward into your puppy pose. So melting the chest towards the ground whilst the hips still stay high in the sky. You want to feel the stretch down the arms, into the armpits, maybe into the lats, and then think about opening the chest to the floor, which helps to extend that upper back. So it's all about correcting that rounded posture We're going to lift the body up, shift the shoulders over the elbows, tuck the toes, and lift the knees off the ground into a plank. An elbow plank. We're going to hold it here just for 15 seconds. Try not to collapse into the shoulders, but you want to push the elbows into the ground so the shoulder blades spread apart. No thumbs up in the sky, the hips are dropped, and try not to round and close off that upper chest either, but extend that upper back so your chest almost faces the front of the mat without collapsing the hips and back lower down. Okay, we're going to walk the feet slightly forward so we can come up into a dolphin. So the hips lift up into the sky, connecting the elbows to the floor, pushing the arms slightly overhead. Lifting up onto your toes and lower the knees down to the ground. Unflip those toes and lift up into your box position. So you're just straightening out the elbows. You're going to place the toes together, open up the knees to the outside edges of the mat, sink the bum down into your extended child's pose. Arms stretched ahead of you, tummy melts between the thighs. Walking the hands over to the right hand side, a sort of 10 past 10 position, tummy to the right thigh. As you stretch that left arm away, you feel a great stretch down the left lats. So that's sort of the part that connects your outer armpit to your rib cage. It's responsible for a lot of scapular movement or movement around the scapular area. And walk the hands over to the left hand side, stretching that right arm away, keeping the hips pulling back. And coming back to the middle. Hands connect about shoulder width apart to the ground. We're going to lift the hips, tuck the toes, and go into your downward facing dog. Arms are pressing overhead. Heels are sinking towards the floor, but knees are straight. So first priority is the straight knees. If that means your heels are way up, that's fine. But if the knees are straight, just working those heels towards the ground. Untucking that tailbone. So you get a really fantastic stretch right down the hamstrings into the calves, maybe right into the Achilles. And then as you push the arms overhead, crown of the head is dropping towards the floor, which allows you to work into that upper back once more. If you feel like your shoulders are shrugging up around your ears, you might not feel that upper spine arch. So try to release those shoulders, creating space for your ears to breathe, and then press and see how much more room you've got. We're going to walk the feet to the front of the mat into your forward fold. Feet are together, big toes touching, ankles touching. Arms are hanging towards the floor and legs are straight. If that means your hands don't touch the ground, that's fine. But I want you to feel that release across that lower back and into the pelvis. And then naturally the hamstring stretch as well. And you might feel some tension from the traction through the spine. Chin is tucked in, so the head is hanging off the spine. We're going to tuck the tailbone and roll your way up one vertebra at a time, squeezing into the lower abdominals as you press the hips forward. And then roll the shoulders back at the top of your mountain pose. Tailbone is tucked, lower abs engaged, just to create good habits. We're going to inhale, reach the arms out and up overhead. Interlace the fingers and press the palms of the hands towards the sky, pulling the arms back behind the ears. As you exhale, swan diving all the way down to the floor. I'm going to inhale halfway lift to a tabletop. So tailbone lift, so lengthen the hamstrings, and now's another opportunity to extend through that upper back. So instead of allowing your upper back to be rounded, think about lifting the chest without moving the rest of the spine. Roll the shoulders back, squeezing them towards the spine so the arms are not just flopping out of their sockets. They're actively pulling your spine nice and straight so we can balance a perfect Seattle Cafe mocha on your tabletop. As you exhale, fold forwards. Brush the fingertips along the ground, sink the hips down, reach the arms forward into your chair pose. If the arms overhead is a bit much, feel free to have hands down at heart center. Otherwise, arms extended, palms turned in. Drop the shoulders away from the ears and then pull the arms behind those ears. Knees pull back behind the toes. And then tailbone tucks slightly, just to reinforce that lower abdominal activation. Exhale, folding forwards, tucking the chin in to look towards those legs. We're going to reach the arms around the back, interlace the fingers, and we're not going to go too intense with this one. We're just going to see where we stand for the start of today. Roll the shoulders back, straighten out the elbows if possible, and then pull the arms overhead. The idea is to get the hands towards the floor. But you know, it's cold. We have not been stretching shoulders that much lately. So gently easing into that shoulder stretch. And releasing the hands. Bending the knees, placing the hands onto the floor. We're going to take a step back with the right leg. We're on the ball of the right foot. Left knee is directly above left ankle. Reach the arms up into your high lunge. Palms are turned in. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Pull the arms back behind the ears by activating into that mid back. For ladies who know, it's across that bra line. Although if Jason's in the class, I know he's worn bras before as well, so anything goes. Just think about upper back extension. Dropping those shoulders, palms turned in, tailbone tucked. So you get a great stretch across that hip flexor. Then we're going to exhale, folding forwards, right hand underneath right shoulder. So it's the left foot that's at the front and the right hand connects to the ground. We're going to use the right arm as strong leverage to twist the shoulders open, then extend that left arm towards the sky. The lower the hips, the easier it is to make that connection with the hand. So if your feet are too close together and you're not lunging deep enough, it's going to be quite a challenge. The lower you go, it is nice that you've at least got the third point of contact to help you balance. Releasing that left hand to the ground, both hands either side of that front foot. We're going to step strong back into your plank. Holding your plank. Extending those knees, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to press the heels back towards the ground. So you're pushing through those arms and stretching out those calves. And then gently shifting forwards, pushing through the toes. Shoulders move over fingertips. Press back, stretch out the calves. And then coming forwards over fingertips. Dropping the knees to the ground, twist the elbows in, lower chin and chest, down to the ground. And then press up for cobra. Shoulders roll back, chest opens up. Pull the belly button away from the floor. Elbows really good in alongside the ribcage and definitely bent. If you find this causes strain for your lower back, you can work back to your baby cobra or support it on the elbows for your sphinx. But if it's just your triceps that are burning, keep breathing. They're screaming for oxygen, so make sure you're sending it their way. Tuck those toes, push the hips back towards the heels, stretching out those arms. And then lift the hips up to downward facing dog. Heels sink to the ground, feet are hip distance apart. Untucking the tailbone, arms are pressing overhead. Right leg lifts up towards the ceiling. Lift up onto your left toes. You're going to bring your right knee to chest. Step the foot between the hands at the front of the mat. On the ball of the left foot, right knee directly above left ankle. Sink the hips down. Press through that front leg to reach the arms up. Your high lunge. Palms in. Tailbone tucks. Shoulders are dropped away from the ears, extending into that upper back. Tucking tailbone, almost pushing that right hip forward. And pulling the left one along with it, so we get a stretch across the left hip flexor. Folding forwards, one hand either side of the front foot. Get the body nice and low. Left hand connects to the ground. Strong through that left shoulder as you reach the right arm up. Getting that spinal twist. It's not just the arm. Think about opening the chest as well. Releasing the hand down to the ground, we step forward to the front of the mat. Feet together. Inhale, swan dive all the way up. Squeeze the hips forward, interlace fingers, turn palms towards the sky, and pull back behind the ears. Whilst the hips squeeze forward, open into the upper back. Shoulders are not around the ears, but you drop them down and then pull back. And then exhale, folding forwards, swan diving the arms. Inhale, halfway lift to tabletop, straightening out the spine. Roll the shoulders back, tailbone lifts. Exhale, fold forwards, brush the fingertips along the ground, reaching the arms up into your chair. Pull the knees back behind the toes, shoulders drop down. As you exhale and fold forward, reach the arms around the back, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders open, straighten the elbows and pull those arms overhead. Maybe they're starting to loosen up a little bit. Releasing the hands, bend the knees, placing the hands down to the ground. This time your left foot steps back. We're going to drop the left heel down to the floor. So we've got a 45-degree angle on that left foot. Press through the right leg, reach the arms up into your warrior one. So both hips are pointing to the front of the mat. Arms are extended towards the sky. Lunging to that right knee is over the right ankle. Placing palms together, bring them down to heart center. We open up the hips to warrior two, extending right arm to the front and left arm to the back of the mat. Tailbone tucks, tummy is engaged, shoulders are down away from the ears. Right knee squeezes open through that glute. So activating into that hip to open the knee above the ankle. Then you can either hold this posture or you can reach the hands around the back, straighten out the elbows and open up the chest. If that's where you want to stay, that's also fine. Otherwise, folding forwards, reaching the arms overhead as you bow into that right inner thigh. Working at your level for today. Releasing the hands, either side of that front foot, roll onto the ball of the back foot. We step back to plank. We're going to drop the heels over to the right hand side, lift the left arm to the sky. You can drop your right knee down to the ground so you are supported. Think about stacking those shoulders, extending that left fingertip up towards the ceiling. Rolling back onto your toes through your center plank. Heels drop over to the left, right arm reaches up. Drop the left knee down if necessary. And then rolling back into your plank. Lowering the knees, chin and chest, or full chaturanga down. Untuck those toes. Inhale, lift the chest away from the floor, squeezing the hands off the ground. Roll the shoulders back. Or press up for full cobra. Tucking the toes, push the hips back towards the heels, stretching out the arms, stretching out the soles of the feet, lifting up to your downward facing dog. Meant to drop out of those shoulders, create folding sensation in that upper back. Left leg lifts up towards the sky. Lifting up onto your right toes, bring your left knee in towards your chest and step to the front of the mat. Drop the right foot down to 45 degrees, press up through the front leg for warrior one. Palms are turned in, hips are square to the front edge of the mat. Tuck tailbone, pulling your tummy away from that front thigh. Palms together, down to heart center. We open up, warrior two. Right hand to the back of the mat, left hand to the front. Right knee, or left knee is bent directly above left ankle, squeezing that knee open, tucking the tailbone, lower abs are engaged. Drop the shoulders down. Reach the arms around the back, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders open, and folding forwards to that inner thigh as the arms pull overhead, if appropriate. Releasing the hands either side of that front foot, roll onto the board of the back foot, step to the front of the mat. Feet together. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Palms to touch, interlace the fingers, turn palms to the sky, pull the arms back behind the head as you squeeze the hips forward. Exhale, swan dive and folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift to tabletop. Extending the spine, lifting the tailbone, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold forwards, bend the knees, brush the fingertips along the ground, reach the arms up. Into your chair, pull the knees back. Palms together down to heart center. We're going to take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, hooking it to the outside, pressing the palms together so that the chest comes in line with the hands. Coming back through center, reach the arms up, keeping the palms together. Then as you straighten out the legs, swing the arms around the back, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders open, pull forwards, overhead, stretching out those shoulders. And then gently release, brush the fingertips along the ground, bend the knees, sink the bum down, arms reach overhead, back to your chair. Palms together, down to heart center. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee, pressing the palms together to twist the spine, keeping the knees in line with one another. And then reaching the arms up, palms are still together as you pull the arms back behind the ears, centered in chair. Reach the arms around the back, interlace the fingers, straighten the elbows, straighten the legs, folding forwards. Last time. And then using those arms to draw your back up, opening the chest in your standing pose, your mountain posture, and release. We're going to find our way to the center of the mat. Legs extended out in front of us. Arms extended, straight spine. We're going to fold forwards and melt the tummy towards the thighs. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. If you are grasping the feet, pull them open so that you don't have the soles of the feet looking at each other. So open up those books. Gently release, bring your right foot into the center or to the inner left inner thigh. There we go. Arms extend, drop the shoulders. We fold forwards to that left leg. Gently release. We're going to take the bent leg, crossing it over, so right sole of the foot to the outside of the left thigh. Right hand reaches around the back. Just wrap the left arm around the right knee, pulling the knee towards opposite shoulder. If you would like to do your stop sign, that's fine as well. Otherwise, just getting a good grip, pulling the knee towards the body, pulling your tummy to the outside of the thigh, so getting a nice glute stretch. Mostly to start loosening up the back, or not start, but continue loosening up the twisting in the spine and creating some space. Because as we release our twist, we're going to bring that extended leg in towards the sole of the foot, sort of towards the bum, or the heel of the foot towards the bum. So we have a nice pretzel leg situation going on. If this is not possible, especially for the knees, you can just stay in this position. But if you're feeling up to it, keep the sole of the foot down and keep both sit bones to the ground, or at least working in towards that direction. We're going to reach the right hand, so the right hand between the shoulder blades, and then left hand grabs the elbow to pull that hand a little deeper down the back. All sorts of things are pulling you to fall over, so think nice tall thoughts. Get that stability. Core is engaged, those hip flexors will be working to hold you upright. And release, and then go to the other side. Grab the elbow and pull so the hand reaches down the back. And release. If the foot was in, extend that left leg and extend the right leg. Left foot comes in, sole of the foot to the inner thigh, knee is open, arms extend, straighten the spine, and fold forwards. Where the shoulders are relaxed. And release, coming upright, taking that left foot, cross it over the right leg, wrap the right arm around the knee, pulling the knee towards the shoulder, get the tummy to the outside of the thigh, supporting yourself and getting an extra twist with the left hand. And then as you release, bring that right foot in. Right foot tucks into the next to the left sit bone or bum. And this time we're going to stretch more into the back. So we're going to cross the left arm over, grab the elbow, and just pull the arm towards the chest, keeping the shoulder away from the ear and then intensifying it by turning the palm away from you. So thumb points to the ground and pinky finger to the sky. You should feel a stretch into the back of the shoulder and across that mid-back if it is particularly tight. You might not feel much if the shoulder's up around the face, but keep body lengthened. And release. Extend the right arm across the chest, turning that palm away, grab the elbow and pull towards you whilst keeping the shoulder down away from the face. Keeping the body nice and straight, just really pulling that arm across. And release. Unpretzeling those legs, extending both legs out to the front of the mat, arms extend, we're going to tuck the tailbone and roll down one vertebra at a time, all the way flat onto your back. Arms alongside the body. Bring the heels in towards the butt. Feet are hip distance apart. Turn the palms up to face the ceiling. We're going to tuck the tailbone and roll your way up, squeezing the hips towards the sky. And then rolling down one vertebra at a time, all the way to the ground. Tuck tailbone, roll up, peeling the spine off the floor, lifting up onto those shoulders. And roll down. Tuck tailbone, roll up, peeling it off. Make sure the knees are not splaying, keep it in line with the hips. And roll down. Tuck tailbone, roll up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And roll down. And then last one, tuck the tailbone, roll it up, hold the hips in the sky, working through the heels to push those hips even higher. And then we're going to march. So placing the weight into the left foot, we lift the right knee up to 90 degrees. And then right foot comes down, and the left foot lifts up to 90 degrees. And then comes down. Alternate 3. Keep the hips high. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Feet down. Pull the ribs in as you uncurl through the spine all the way to the ground. We're going to straighten out the left leg. Bring your right knee into the chest. Extend the right arm along the ground and use the left hand to cross the knee over the body, making sure your shoulder stays connected to the floor. You can twist the head to look over at the right hand. And then coming up to center, straightening out the right leg. Left knee comes in. Give it a little tug so it loosens up. Left arm extends. Right hand to the outside of the knee. Cross the knee over the body. Rotating that entire pelvis across, opening through that back, not just in the hip. Keep the left shoulder connected to the ground, gaze over that left hand, unless it hurts your neck, in which case neutral is fine as well. Drawing it back up to center, feet flat, adjust the lower back, cross the right ankle over the left knee, reach through for the back of the left thigh, and pull the knee towards you, using your right elbow as leverage to push that right knee open. And releasing that left foot down, right foot places down, left ankle crosses over right knee, reach through for the back of the right thigh, and pull towards you. Left elbow pushes the left knee more open. Uncurling the tailbone to the ground to intensify the stretch through the left glute. And if you want to bring that left foot in a little tighter, will also increase that stretch. Releasing the feet down to the ground. Knees are still bent. Bring the heels in close to your bum. Place both feet on the outside edges of the mat. Both knees drop over to the right-hand side. And then take the right foot and place it on top of the left knee. So the left foot is still on the outside, the left outside edge of the mat, whilst both knees are pulling towards the floor, and then tummy tightens up to flatten the lower back in towards the ground. It may or may not touch, but the more you pull in that direction, the more of a stretch you're going to get over the left hip flexor. But perhaps you might feel it lower down into the actual quad, further down the thigh. Whatever's tightest will tend to stretch first. The tighter your tummy, the higher up that stretch will move. Release the foot, draw the knees up, adjust the lower back, place the feet on the edges of the mat once more. Both knees over to the left foot on top of right knee, pull the knees down to the ground and squeeze the tummy to flatten out the back. Releasing the knees, drawing it back up. You're going to bring your right knee in towards your chest, left leg up to the sky. Rock the toes over the face and swing all the way up. Crossing the ankles. You're going to walk the arms forward, folding as you extend those arms, tucking the chin in, melting to the sides, into the lap. Walking the hands over to the right hand side, keep the sit bones connected to the floor. And over to the left hand side. Coming back to the middle and walking yourself up, cross the other ankle to the front and folding forwards. Walk it over to the right. Keep those sit bones pulling back to the ground. You'll feel a stretch in the lats and in the hips. And over to the left. And back to the middle. And walk all the way up. Thank you for joining me this morning. Good class. Hope you feel a little bit looser and more upright in your posture, stronger in your upper body.